Hello, welcome to All Up in Your Wreath Business. I am Palon, your host, and today we have Miss Fancy.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have Fancy on. She is the owner of the Fancy Front Door, and she also is a coach inside of Deco Exchange, you guys. She also owns a beautiful boutique and has awesome accessories and clothing. So I'm super excited to have her on the show. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. It's a privilege and an honor and a pleasure and all the things. So thanks for asking me and thinking of me, and thanks.
Yes. Well, we just love you. We love you. I was like, I'm ask Fancy. I was kind of nervous. And I was like, just do it.
It's
But
just
you're super sweet. I've had the pleasure to meet you in person, and you were so nice and gorgeous.
thank you. I tell Palon this all the time. She's one of the most naturally beautiful people I've ever met. If you ever see her in
Thank
person, she's like a porcelain doll.
you.
It's so stunning.
Oh, thank you so much. They're saying, hey, Coach Fancy. Hello, you guys. We will open up the floor to all your viewers. Thank you guys for joining us as well. We'll open up the floor to any questions that you have for her in the end
For
of the
sure.
broadcast.
For sure.
So for anyone new here, this is a podcast called All Up in Your Wreath Business. I like to interview established wreath owners in our community with their small business, kind of get to know a little bit more about them, how they started, any inspiration they want to share, especially with a new wreath maker or someone's getting started in the business, kind of guide them and let them know their story. It always helps to inspire and encourage someone else along the way. So I've been blessed to have a lot of people interested in being on the podcast, and I really do appreciate them for coming. So if you have something special that you would like to ask one of our guests, just leave it in the comments and we'll get to it towards the end of the broadcast. But I want to start out with kind of getting a little bit of the basics, kind of know how did you get started? Like, what did you used to do before you ever first started making your first wreath?
It's such a great question because I feel like I'll be 40 in next February, 2023. I'll be 40.
Oh.
I feel like I've lived like 10 lives. I truthfully do. I feel like I'm just like the jack of all trades, but I don't want to say master of none because there is a business to this and I learned it and now I found like my calling and my niche. But before this, it's such an incredible, weird, amazing God journey. It's just I just sit back sometimes and I'm like, God, that was a real weird ride to get here. So it started. You wanted me to talk about the whole modeling thing, and which was
yes.
crazy, weird, awesome time in my life. So I graduated high school and I got into nursing school, and I thought that I would be in pediatric oncology. Y'all, I'm going to give you some super cliff notes of like the whole story. I had pediatric cancer, so I thought I was going to pediatric oncology. I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to save them kids.
Yeah.
Friends, that is a special calling for a special person, and bless every heart of every doctor and nurse in that field. But I realized very quickly it wasn't for me. And at the same time, I was like modeling here and there to pay for college, and I got dropped in my lap a very large contract. I was given the opportunity to do runway in New York and LA, Miami, travel the world and be a model, or I could go to nursing school. So I went to my dad. I was raised by just my dad. And I said, Dad, like without hesitation, he goes, school will always be there, but your face won't always look like that. So bless him. He had a little bit of, adult insight. So I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going for it. And I spent the majority of my 20s modeling. And I knew God's call on my heart in my life was always to be in some sort of medical type fields. I just didn't know. I spent so much time in prayer over this. And I knew that God was calling me to help people in the medical industry. And then I found dentistry and I thought, okay, I'm literally going to make people smile every single day. They're going to walk in and they're going to be hurting And there's only about like a dozen things that can go wrong in dentistry, and you can fix them all in about an hour.
Yeah.
Call in a prescription and they're good to go. And see them on Monday. So I got into dentistry, and I was in dentistry for about a decade, and I was literally making people smile for a living. And I was so fulfilling. I loved it with every ounce of my being. I worked with an amazing team of just Jesus following people. And we just, we loved on our patients. And I was like, I'm super fulfilled. This is it. This is the thing. I'm just going to stay here and live this out. And I feel so fulfilled. And I got pregnant with Claire after I had gotten married, and I was in dentistry, and I got pregnant with my first child, and was on maternity leave. And then when Claire was and I had just gone back to work, when Claire was 11 weeks old, I found out that I was pregnant with Guy.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it escalated quickly. Yeah, we got a lot of kids, and they just kept happening. So I was pregnant with Guy, and I went on maternity leave for Guy with like a baby at home still. And I was nesting and decided to go to a wreath making class that the community center was putting on for us moms.
Oh.
And I went, and you guys, I made the ugliest wreath you have ever seen. And I realized like an hour ago it's not in here because I'm totally going to show you guys. Oh, it's so bad. Like pieces are still falling off, and I'm keeping it. I made the ugliest wreath you've ever seen, and I came home and I told my husband, Mr. Fancy, or David, I told David, I was like, I'm going to quit my life and make wreaths for a living. He was like, after your maternity leave, you're going back to the dentist office. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So I did. And that was in January, cut to that fall, and Hurricane Harvey happened. And my neighborhood was utterly destroyed. 80% of my immediate neighborhood was under at least 6 feet of water for 6 weeks. It was so bad. I mean, I witnessed firsthand my neighbors getting rescued off their roofs by helicopters, and like they're watching their wedding photos and their baby shoes float by.
Oh no!
Do about it,
girl, you're sad.
It was devastating. It was. I've never experienced the feeling of devastation like that, and it was all around me, and I just felt so helpless in that moment. Like, what can I do? I was like, does anybody need a cavity filled? Like, I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so I told myself, okay, listen, we have some really good, strong community Facebook groups around here. I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just make some wreaths. Clearly, everybody also, on top of their like priceless mementos, they've also lost all of their decorations, and they're all displaced. So let's go ahead and make your temporary housing feel like home again. And for every wreath I make, I said, you will use the profit to go ahead and give somebody in our neighborhood a wreath for Christmas or fall, for free.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, maybe 10 people will say, okay, yeah, let's do that. Friend, I got over 100 orders for wreaths.
Wow.
I'd made one wreath in my whole life.
Wow.
And it was ugly. So, like, my phone just kept blowing up. It was like, bloop, bloop, bloop. I was like, David, another one. So what do I do? So I thought, 10 wreaths. I got 100 friends, and I said for every one I made, I was giving one away. That's 200 wreaths that I had to make like yesterday. So I was like, beep boop, beep boop, Google, internet, YouTube. I can figure out how to make wreaths. Like, so I found Damon Oates. Somehow I joined literally every free Facebook wreath group that I could find. And back then there were a lot of them. And somebody asked the question one day. They said, have you tried these paid groups? And I was like, we can pay for this. There's another level.
Right.
So I was like, yes, please. I'm there. Help.
Yeah.
All the help. And resoundingly in the comment section, everybody was like, Damon. I was like, who's Damon? Show me the Damon.
Yeah.
And I found the Damon. And And he's from New Orleans, and meanwhile, all my entire adult life, I'd always also worked for nonprofit organizations, mainly Ducks Unlimited, conserving wetlands between Texas and Louisiana. So
Oh,
every pretty much every Thursday night, I was somewhere in some random city in Louisiana, which usually were around Damon. And I reached out to him. I was like, "We should hang out." I'm gonna be there next week. And he was like, "We
yeah,
should go
yeah.
shopping." And I was like, "We should." And so I met Damon, and like the kind of just the rest is history. I was like trial by fire. I had to make 200 wreaths. I had to get really good at it because these people are paying me.
Yeah.
And that's how it all began. And then when I told my husband with 200 wreath orders that I was going to quit my life and make wreaths for a living, he was like, "Maybe you should." Here I
After
am.
they say it's real.
It got real
Got
fast.
real fast.
And it escalated quickly. Kind of like all the kids I have. Like it escalated quickly. So here I am, and I just look back at just all the things that were woven together, and the steps and the doors that were open and the doors that were closed that brought me to this. And I'm like, it's such a perfect fit. I could not have orchestrated this. Friend, if you told me 6 years ago that I was going to be making wreaths for a living, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
told me that I was going to go to a wreath convention and it would change the course of my life, I would have laughed even harder.
yeah,
But here we are, and it makes so much sense in this community and the found and the friendships that I found. There's nothing like what we have. There's
yeah,
nothing like it. And if
yeah.
there's, I don't know about it.
I know. And they're like, what? I'm like, "Girl, you don't get it, but it's okay."
Right, right. And it's fine. It's because it's ours, and I'm good with
Yes,
it,
yes,
right?
yes. That is an amazing story. Wow. So
Yeah,
all of those people just reached out and did and for an amazing cause. That is wonderful.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it really does make a difference, like when you're in the temporary housing to have it because all of the furniture is rented, they bring it in. It's just like a bland.
It's like staying
They
in a
even give you silverware and plates and stuff. I haven't been through a hurricane, but I've actually been through a house fire, and everything was lost. And so we lived in a townhouse for a couple of months, and they think of everything. I mean, lamps, silverware, they think of everything.
number
But
one, I'm
it's
glad that
no kind of
yeah,
decor, nothing that makes you feel like at home.
yeah,
And you have to be there for so long
yeah.
until you can either find another property or get something rebuilt. So that's an amazing story, and it really probably helped a lot of people, comforted them through that time. So that is amazing.
It
I
was
didn't know
so
that. That's really good, Fancy. You did a
it
good thing.
was I always pray specifically for like wisdom and discernment and for doors to like slam shut or just like bust open because
Yeah,
I'm like, sorry, Jesus, but this is all you're working with. Like you gotta show me some bold things.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that I was seeing people smile for the first time in probably a month.
Hmm.
And I was like, no, this is bigger than making a wreath.
Right, right,
Much, much
right. It
bigger.
really is. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Gives people something to look forward to. So
Mhm.
you met Damon. You and Damon started hanging out. And how did you become a coach for the Deco Exchange?
So, I have an incredible following. I am honored and blessed every day to have the following that I have, and they kept begging, "Please tell me how you made that." And I was like, "I like, okay, yeah." And it's so funny, just like what comes natural to me. Some people it doesn't come natural to, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Well, you
yeah.
just put that and that and that together, and you just balance it like that."
Yeah.
Hold on, write that down. And then I thought, okay, I've got enough people asking. Let me just try. I'll just try a private group. These private paid groups that had taught me so much whenever I invested in myself and invested in my craft and just at that point out of necessity, like I needed to know.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, but here's how I learned. Here's how I tweaked it. Here's how I made it mine. And this is what I know. And overnight, I had over 100 people sign up for my private paid group. At the time, it was called the Fancy Family, and they will ever hold a special place in my heart. I had that group for about a year. And then right as COVID was happening, it was the beginning of March. It was right before the lockdown. Damon, who is a dear friend of mine, and so is Mel and Tammy and Jordan. Um, Damon was like, hey, we're stronger together. We're better together. And, our heart is for this community. This is definitely bigger than making wreaths, and we're better together. Would you please, um, come over and be a creative coach?
Yeah.
And I was like, I would be honored, absolutely honored. So me and Mel came on together in March of
Oh.
2020,
All
and running 2 groups, just
It's a lot.
living, yeah, all of my children and lockdown and all of the things. I was like, I just told Fancy Family, who most of them were already also
Yeah.
members. I was like,
Just go there.
yes, I feel like I'm charging you twice, and I don't like that. Let's just all come over here where I can serve you better. And so we merged a few months later, and I have been under the Deco Exchange umbrella as a creative coach since then. It's an honor, a privilege, a pleasure. I love it. I love my team. I love my job. I cannot,
Yeah. Yeah.
it really honestly feels weird to call it a job. Um, and truthfully, I cannot even tell you how many times me and Tammy and Mel and Damon and Jordan get together and look at each other and like, we make wreaths for a living. This is,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is just crazy and amazing. And
Yeah, it is.
that's how that marriage happened.
Oh.
Very happy.
Yeah, and we can tell you guys like really are truly like friends, family. When you guys get together, and we love, especially like well, speaking for me, I love when y'all get together and do the challenges, and y'all are all under one roof because it's just funny. It's funny.
So I love it so much because part of my story too is just, I come from a place where I don't have a big family. And to get to have family that I choose and I deeply love and I appreciate and I admire each and every one of them,
Yeah.
it is the biggest blessing in the whole wide world. And when we're laughing and when we're together, it is so special. The chemistry that we all have together, it's nothing like I ever thought that I would have ever in a work environment. And like I said, it doesn't even feel like work. It's so
Yeah.
awesome. We truly love each other's company. And truth be told, we have a text with all of us in there. And I don't talk to anybody else except for maybe my husband as much as I talk to those people.
Yeah.
Like 4 a.m. We're like, hey, who's up? Or, oh my gosh, did you see the swag made on this base?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just runs the gamut of just all the things.
Um,
our lives are so intertwined at this point. We just love each other. It truly is a family.
yeah, that's a real good blessing. That's a blessing to have that connection and friendship with them. So, how did you start your boutique and with the House of Fancy?
This is a fun one. This is a really, really fun one. So, um, investing in myself, investing in my craft, investing in the business side of this, I became very in tune with, hey, what are my people asking for? What are they asking for? Because I don't ever want to not provide something that I can easily provide if they're asking, right?
Right, right.
So, I'm doing these, tutorials. I've got literally just put the baby down. So I took off my awesome earrings. Dang it. But people are like, oh, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get those earrings? Where'd you get those bracelets? Like, what? What? That's so cute. And literally the same market that I can go get flowers and ribbon and wreath bases and attachments is the same market that I can go and buy cute shirts and earrings and stuff.
Right.
Anyway, truth be told, I'm up there shopping for me anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just thought, okay, what if I try this? Okay. So I started with earrings and I was like, okay, you were asking where I got my earrings. This is where. Now I'm going to carry them. So if you want them, here's House of Fancy. It's just kind of everything fancy. Do you want them? And friend, they were sold out within minutes of me opening the boutique. And
Wow.
the pattern just kept repeating. And then being in fashion for so long, um, it was easy for me to like spot a trend and pick a trend and like get the things in the shop. And then I heard this resounding thing. We need more plus size things. Now, plus size is a world that I've never been in because, like, as a model, we were always in, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
call it real size clothes. So I didn't know what I didn't know. Friend, can I just please go to like holy war for the plus size?
yeah.
It's not right. It's not fair. And it's completely underrepresented for what I don't even like calling plus size. It's like a normal size.
Right, right.
And so I'm like, okay, let me start carrying these things too. And I'm finding out like the sizes aren't even correct. And it's just,
Mm-mm.
I'll be honest, it's rude. So I'm doing my best to try to get every size represented in the boutique, but also like, let's get some statement fun things.
Right, the
Like
fun, not
your
just
fun
the
earrings.
plain t-shirt.
Yes, give me some cute earrings. And then I always joke that I don't want an earlobe lift because I'm only like I'll be 40. I don't want an earlobe lift, but I love big earrings. I love them.
I do too. I really do. I really do.
So I found the most gorgeous weightless earrings, and I was like, "Oh,
What?
this is fun." So that's kind of my thing. All the earrings in my shop, they weigh like nothing, and they're cool
Wow.
and they're fun. Like I said, I just put the baby down, and she grabs my ears.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
I love the earrings that you have though. Every time. I know you get this like your number one question on your lives is where'd you get those earrings?
like fancy.com. So yeah,
Yes, yes. They're always gorgeous. Gorgeous.
fun.
So I love that. And then you also have gorgeous ribbon. I know we see all this glorious ribbon. This is your personal stash, but you guys, the ribbon she has. Look at this, y'all. Designer ribbon. I'm getting out. The designer ribbon. You guys, she sells beautiful supplies.
Friends,
So it's
there was
everything.
there's such a hole in that market. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Do you realize when I first started, number one, nobody would tell you where they got the goods. Number two, if you found the goods, there was at least, and there still is in most places, a $500 minimum order, plus
Right.
crazy stupid shipping.
Mhm.
Plus, you also had to have like a tax ID and like a wholesale license to even get it.
Right.
So I was like, hold on. Also, the same place that I can get the earrings. I was like, why aren't more people doing this?
Yeah.
We love ribbon. And I will just scream this from the mountaintops. If there's one thing that you could put in your wreath or your centerpiece or your swag, etc., that will set you apart, friend, it's that expensive ribbon. It is
Ribbon. It
worth
is.
every penny.
Yeah,
'Cause,
it is.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest right here. I can get this same flower at a really expensive shop. Walmart has really upped their game. I can get the same flower.
Yeah.
But that ribbon, you can't like
No.
there's there's no knockoffs of good ribbon.
No.
Literally not. So yeah, that's something that I highly recommend investing in. And I show people every day, like a little bit can go a long way. You just put a little pop in there or go crazy. Not, yep, not gonna hold you
Yeah.
back. But yeah, it goes so a long way in your design. So I was like, yeah, we got to do ribbon. We're doing ribbon.
Gorgeous ribbons. I also love all the picks and sprays you choose, and I love the weirdos.
Okay,
So I'm a weirdo fan.
I'm a huge weirdo fan. You should just see what's sitting next to me. So if you don't know, weirdos are just that weird thing that's like, wait, what is that?
Yeah.
No, but for real, like, what is? Oh, here's I have a whole basket. Like, I am no botanist. I have no idea what this.
What the name of it is.
Exactly. But I throw that in a wreath, and it draws your attention. It's something so different, and it just adds depth. It adds texture. It adds interest to your wreath, and it sets you apart. So give me weirdos all day long. All day long, give me the weirdos.
Yes.
Big
When
fan.
I think about your designs, I think of staple, beautiful grapevines with mesh. And if I see mesh on a grapevine, I automatically think the fancy front door. I think that's automatically so important that you have tuned in your style. And I know you had kind of gave us some homework on that. And I was like, she's talking to me. She's talking
It's
to
my
me.
favorite. It's
but
fantastic.
it's just automatically. I like a little bit of everything, but I know you do too. But you really, hone in on that type of design. So I think that's truly special that you've been able to do that and really just go from there, from starting with one wreath to 200. And now
Yep.
you have, designed some real staples and selling supplies and clothing, accessories. It's truly, truly, truly awesome. So what kind of motivated you to keep going in your journey? I know we both have small kids. It can be a lot to try to run a business,
It's a
have
lot.
small kids, you're married, all of those things. So I always wonder, like, how does she do all this?
So a couple of things. Number one, I know in my heart, I know that this is my calling for sure. This is bigger to me than making a wreath. My why is definitely my kids, but also serving this community.
Yeah,
I truly, truly, truly love, and I'm really glad I have tissues sitting next to me. I truly love this community, and I love to love on this community. I've found, and I have heard these stories of women that I'm not kidding. Every day I get a message, and it keeps me going. Of you're the reason I got out of bed today.
yeah,
I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. Things like women who have lost their entire family. One lost their husband and all of her children in a car accident. I don't know how you
oh,
scrape yourself up off the floor the next day,
yeah,
let alone try to live a life after that. Um, j- Women who and men who are caring for two elderly parents, both with dementia. Women who are fighting their final battle of cancer that they know they're not going to win. And I know that if I show up for them, it makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it. If
yeah,
Because it's bigger than making a wreath. This is a way for us to just put our brains on the shelf and just go make something pretty.
yeah.
Let's go hang out. Let's go make something pretty. Let's talk about weirdos and ribbon, and let's just let it all melt away for an hour. Let's just give ourselves a break for an hour. You guys, this is the cheapest therapy in the whole
It
world.
is.
Let's
It
have
is.
fun. It is. And if I can just be a light for Jesus and just
Yeah,
really, really just, this is a hill I'm going to die on for sure. For sure. For sure. I
yeah,
love this community so much, and I will always show up. I will always show up for them because there's no way but God that I showed up in this community. I was so happy in dentistry, and there when God said you're gonna quit your life and make wreaths for a living, I was like, I'm sorry, it does not compute. You can make a living out of that. Huh.
yeah, yeah.
All the thoughts. I was like, well, that's cute.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my why. That's my reason. And also, I don't I am not a stay-at-home mom. I'm a work from home mom, which is
Yeah.
such
Two totally different things.
totally different things. I'm like, I love you, friend who is asking me to go to lunch with you, but I would love to also be a lady that lunches or a lady
Yeah.
at leisure. I am neither.
Mhm.
So but it is such a blessing because every morning I can drop my kids off at school, have a full day of work, go pick them up at 3, shut down my day. We have homework and dinner and bedtime together, and then at 8:30 when everybody goes to bed, I'm going to be live.
That's good.
We're going to go hang out again.
Yeah.
It's been such a beautiful balance. It has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's super fulfilling. Oh my gosh, my heart is so full every single day.
Yes. Well, you are doing it, girl. You're doing it. And you motivate me, we think about it like, huh. I've talked to some other remakers and they're like, how do you do it with the kids? I'm like, girl, my mama. My mama helping me, girl, because I couldn't do it. But I always look to you and I'm like, she is doing it. And so just to hear that, yes, you need to get some balance and, kind of set some time frames. I'm taking notes. Because I know she
Also,
needs a break too.
I think it took me to understand that no is a complete sentence. I
Woo!
can't do that. No.
That's a word. That's a word. He's preaching
That'll
the
preach.
word now.
That'll preach. That'll preach. No, I can't do that.
Mhm.
Because sometimes a yes to you or a yes to somebody else is a direct no to my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. It's a hard no. She's only
Yeah.
2 for 12 months, and it goes by so fast.
So fast.
Fast.
Woo, so
Mhm.
fast.
A yes to this is a no to a kindergarten field trip. She only had 2 this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
no. Yep.
So that is a good lesson too. Okay, so I need that. I need that in my life.
Mhm.
I've been like a people pleaser all my life, so it took me a long time to be able to say no to certain things.
You can love people.
Ooh, it's hard.
No, you can love people and not have to please them.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
also, I've learned I have to fill up my own cup first. I can't pour from an empty cup. Absolutely not. I start giving from a place of lack and resentment. It is not a good place. Fill up your own cup first, and that is not selfish. Somebody needs to hear that. That is not selfish at all. Fill up your own cup first because you can't give from a place of lack. And if that means you need to take a nap for an entire day, that's fine. If that means you need 15 minutes to go scream in a pillow, do that. If that means, you need to take a lap around the block, do it. Friend, fill your cup. Fill your cup. Fill your cup first because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes, yes, that's so totally true. Totally true.
Yep.
Woo! So that is you dropped a lot of knowledge on us today. You have. So what do you have coming up next for your business? I've seen a few things.
I love that we did this podcast today. I thoroughly wish that it's all just fell together within the last week. I really wish it would have happened like 2 weeks from now because I have goosebumps right now. There's some really
Oh.
big, huge, exciting things happening. And I truly cannot wait to tell you guys. Here's what I don't want to happen. Something to like fall apart at the last minute. Something happened at the 9th hour and they're like, oh, I thought you were doing that. Ah!
Yeah.
So just stay tuned. Stay tuned. God's doing some big, weird, incredible things right now. And we're about to pivot. I have a feeling that some big things are going to happen soon. But one big thing that I do have happening this summer is I know that summertime, I've been in this for many seasons now. Summertime is a slow season. So for me and my business, my heart is after the community. I am a firm believer in invest in yourself, invest in your craft. And so I'm doing what's called summer school this summer.
Oh.
Yes. So this coming Friday, I'm going to do Color Wheel 201 because I'm obsessed with the color wheel and color theory and how to make different colors come together and just pop and like, wow, that's a weird combo, but it totally makes sense. How did that happen? Friend, it's a color wheel. There's some science to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to teach Color Wheel 201 this coming Friday. Then I've got a Grapevine Masterclass coming, and then I'm going to do a swag school. And if we have time, I'm going to put in another class to try to get us all on the same page and so prepped and ready for busy season.
Yeah.
Because y'all, this is going to be a good busy season.
It is. I feel it too. I feel it.
Right.
So many people are coming.
They're coming out of the woodwork.
Yes. And they are looking for, handmade, unique items.
We are from COVID. People are showing up to Etsy, friends, with their credit cards out, ready to support hand makers more than they are going to Walmart and Target and these places. They want to support your business, friends. Invest in your craft, invest in your business. They are looking to support you, especially right now with like recession and things like that. Talk of those things. People who this is not hurting them economically. They are looking for your business to support your business.
Right.
And that's how my business exploded, was through COVID. So
yeah.
This is going to be a good busy season. So we're doing like summer school all summer long, and I'm excited about that.
That is super cool. Super cool. Super cool. I think the last class I took was when you did all the things for markets and the
Fun. That
colors
was
of
the
the
last
year.
one. Yes, the color of the year.
She
Yes,
does great explaining
wild
on how
rose.
everything works together, you guys. So if you have not attended the course before, you definitely need to sign up. You definitely need to know how these things are going to work because it does help you when you hit your design table.
Absolutely.
And it just clicks when somebody puts it into plain. It clicks in your mind once that you can really put it into action.
Yeah.
So definitely a fun thing. Summer school. I like that.
No, everybody usually cringes at the thought of summer school, but I was like, oh no, this is gonna be the best summer school you will ever take. It's gonna be fun.
Yes, that sounds so funny. All right, so let me check the comments and see if we had any questions from the audience. If you have a question, comment, you guys, and I'll be more than happy to ask. All right, let me see. Quite a bit of comments.
Hey, y'all.
Says amazing, fancy. I always love hearing your story. You're such an inspiration. Hello. All right. I don't see any ones. I see a couple feedback. New comments is coming in. So somebody said you just throw everything together and make it pop. It's gorgeous.
Science. There's a science behind it. I have a huge science background, and I was like, wait a minute, you can put science in this? I'm in.
Yeah. Especially like with balance and stuff. Some people just have a natural eye to certain things, and I kind of tell like, oh yeah, see, you already had that in you.
And I can just tell you, there are a handful of designers that inspire me. You're my newest favorites. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not gonna name names, but there's only 3 that I'm like, what? Yes, wow, knock my socks off every single time. Can I tell you that the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months of your designs, I've been like, what is that? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I think I get that from my mom. I don't know. You kind of grow up and you be like, I don't want to do stuff my mama did. You try to go the other way and you end up being it anyway. That's me. You end up walking that path anyway, girl. Quit trying to rebuke it.
The day that I realized that I became my parent, I looked right at my daughter and I said, I hope you have a daughter just like you one day. And I was like, oh, I turned into my parent.
It's so funny. I mean, they do though. Like even my 2-year-old today, I just looked at him and laughed. Just he just reminded me of something I used to do in my childhood. So I just laughed and I was like, okay, this is gonna be the guy right here. Yeah.
And I'm never quick to admit it. I'm like, I don't know why, Mr. Fancy. I don't know why they're acting like that. And I'm like, that was
It must be on your side. It must be you. The whole time. Oh yeah.
I was
yes. Oh, thank you, Linda. So she says you're so inspirational. She said, what's the best way to build your followers?
Oh, what a great question.
That is.
So, I'm not going to tell you that it happens overnight, and you're also going to get a lot of people in your DMs and PMs and all the M's that are like, grow your following overnight. Just give me $500. Oh, they will absolutely grow your following. You know what it's going to be? A bunch of spam bots. So,
yeah.
Woo, it's just filler. It's literally just a number and they won't mean anything. Those are not your customers. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to show up every day if you can. If you can't, please don't feel like a failure. Show up and keep showing up and keep being yourself and just keep showing up. Keep showing up consistently. Facebook, the algorithm rewards consistency. Show up. If you can't show up and go live, if that's your fear, if that's just a no-go for you, at least be posting a picture of something you made every day. At least be posting a picture of your work table with what you're working on every day. Show up every day and be yourself. Friends, you can't be anybody else. They're all taken. So just be yourself. How exhausting is that, too, to be somebody else? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Also, there's no prize for winning somebody else's race, friends. Nope, run your race.
Yeah.
And the other thing I just want to kind of tag on to that too is blinders are so important. Friends, put your blinders on and literally just run your race. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. Comparison is the thief of joy. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Comparison is the thief of joy. Run your race. There's no prize for winning somebody else's race.
No.
Those blinders on, show up and be you every single day. If it's not a completed wreath that you're showing off, say, oh my gosh, I just unboxed this box of these ribbons. I can't wait to put them in a design. New designs come in soon. Friend, put something on that business page every day.
Oh yes.
That's the best way.
Just showing up. And even if you miss, like you can sit down and say, how I'm gonna do this 45 days straight, 30 days straight. And you miss a couple of days. Just show up in a couple of days. Don't just quit. No one's gonna. No one's going to.
I was like 6 days in, and I was like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. No one is gonna. They're gonna be happy to see you in 3-4 days. Just get back in there. It's not that serious.
Show up consistently. Post.
Yeah.
It's not a live, at least it's a post.
Yeah.
Just consistency. Show up and be you and be authentic and don't compare yourself. It is, trust me, this is not an overnight success. This is an overnight success 6 years in the making.
Oh yeah. And I think a lot of people that are scared to maybe go live and do live videos, check out Reels and make a story video. A lot of people, they don't care what it is. They just want to kind of see you, get to know you. Especially like if you're making products, as we do, we make wreaths. Make a little short video shipping wreath. People that are interested in buying that kind of might be scared to buy, like, are you a real person? And the more you show the realness, and then they're like, oh, she's shipping that, and that looked good, and oh, she posted a review. She's legit. I'm ordering.
Yes.
It's a lot of people waiting on that type of thing too. Right. So throw that out there, and that's content that you can put out there every day. So.
And what you're building up is the know, like, and trust factor.
Right.
Who likes you and trusts you because you show up every day and you're you every day, and they see what you're doing. They see you behind the scenes, and it's not all picture perfect, and it's not some crazy spammy factory overseas. You're a real person.
Right. Yeah.
You're gaining that know, like, and trust factor, and the followers will come. They'll show up. They really will. It really works that way.
Yeah, because unfortunately, overseas have kind of stole our pictures. We done got our pictures too good.
I'm a victim.
So they might be really scared to purchase y'all.
It's really funny.
Put some videos out.
I've had several of my pictures stolen, and they took the watermark off, which I was kind of glad for, because if you're going to be selling my $300 wreath for $36.99, I'm going to and put my watermark on there. They're going to be coming for me. So good. Phew, they weren't coming for me. But number 2, I was really happy that it was a good picture of me. Like, it was a cute picture.
Because it's going to be everywhere.
I like that outfit. You can get it at
yes. Yes, it's the one you can deal with. So that's good. Well, I can see why they would take your pictures. They're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, when I see you take picture, oh my God, I can tell, like, oh yeah, I would have scattered you some automatically.
Oh, I love you.
Automatically. Someone says, how do you know who to go through for shipping? You probably should take the Go Ship class with Deco Exchange. It is a game changer.
Yep.
I will tell you that shipping was like the number one thing I got choked up with when I first started. You definitely want to take take that to kind of get all the ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can kind of get overwhelmed with that. And if you don't cut your boxes down and order the right boxes or anything like that, it can get really expensive. So
Yes.
that's a class you definitely want to take. You want to
Yes.
take that class.
It's called the O Ship SHIP challenge at Deco Exchange. It's in makersuniversity.com is where you can find that. And it is definitely a game changer because if you're paying full retail for shipping, friends, there goes your profit.
Right.
Sometimes it will literally cost more than your wreath to ship it just regular over-the-counter prices. And Parker really breaks down how to ship and how to network the whole thing. Just
Yes.
it's really, really, really great. So personally for me, I use a FedEx account, a ShipStation account. I'm in Houston, and I will also say this. It was different for me when I lived in Austin. UPS was cheaper for me when I lived in Austin. Now that I'm in Houston, FedEx is cheaper. So those are definitely things that you're going, it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. It's something that you're going to have to navigate, but the O-Ship challenge really, really helps with that. So yeah, definitely a game changer because I will never forget the first stitching I ever got. I was on cloud 9 and then got sucked back down to earth. And I was like, oh, wait, I have to ship this. This was before the O-Ship challenge. There was no challenge. And I was like, oh, ship. And I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's a big thing. And then I kind of just went everywhere looking. And then, yeah. She says, can you please give some advice on pricing?
Absolutely. So, number one, you know how I say invest in yourself and invest in your craft. If you have not invested in the business side of this, in business coaching, I'm not saying this because I work for Damon. I'm saying this is because what I did before I even worked for him. The business coaching is a game changer. Get some business coaching, and that will definitely help you to price your things. For me, know that I do get some of my things wholesale. I buy it at market, and it's the same things I get in the shop. So my prices are usually going to reflect like cost times 2, cost times 3, cost times like 2.5 plus some padding, just depending on how many things were wholesale, how many things were regular price, those kinds of things. So it's always just a little bit different, but do not be afraid to charge your worth and then add tax, friend.
Oh yeah.
Do not be afraid.
Yeah.
Because there are people that show up to Etsy and they search by price, highest to lowest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even when I thought I had something like, don't think that every person is coming with the budget that you have. I had that. There was such a struggle in the beginning when I started selling.
You're not shocked with your own budget.
No one's gonna buy this because I wouldn't. Well, everyone don't have your little change, girl. So true. It really had to go through my mind. And then it really came when I had thought, okay, well, I'm going to charge the right price for it. I'm going to do this. And then she's like, fine. And I need 2. And I was like, what?
Isn't that the best? It's the best moment.
So I was like, okay.
Yes. And can I'm just going to hold up literally just something on my table. If you saw this wreath, hold on. If you saw this for $39.99, like a picture of it, you would be like, what's the catch? What's wrong with it?
Right. Yeah.
If you're not charging enough, people are literally going to raise an eyebrow and think, what's wrong with it? What's the problem? Like, I don't understand why it's so cheap. No, thank you. Like, that sounds scammy because there are so many scams out there right now. Like I said, they were trying to sell my $300 wreath for $36.99. Not okay. That's going to raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
So charge your worth, friends. And friends, I love my neighbors. My neighbors are amazing. My neighbors are why I started my business. My neighbors are not my customers. And that's okay. And
I have a few. But after that,
I have a few.
No.
Nope.
No. Roxana said she thought it was supplies times 2. It's normally supplies times 3. And then You know, you kind of figure out what because if you charge shipping and handling, you got to account for your boxes and everything too.
Yep.
Outside of the shipping cost, because the customer is going to pay the shipping. They're still now accounting for your boxes, and boxes have gone up
Boxes
like
have
everything else. Yeah.
so is tape. Why is tape so expensive? Tape.
And minutes, I'm like, everything. I don't know. It's just hard right now, I guess, to get anything.
The struggle is real. But
Yes.
our customers, I mean, they're paying it and they're happy to do it. And then they do what you said, they're like, I'll take two.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's just a different mindset. It's a mindset thing, you guys. And once you get over that, it's money mindset. It really is. You have to kind of change that and get it in your mind. And after that, you're good to go. So
yes. Damon tells a friend of ours all the time, don't be allergic to money. Why are you being allergic to money? Stop it.
But a lot of these things, with the money mindset, it's been instilled in us, It's been instilled in us. It takes some time to kind of break.
Yep.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Even like, I think Oprah explained it well when she was like, I know what $100 does, but I don't know what $1 million can do. And so I was like, yeah, me neither.
Wow.
So when she had $1 million, she didn't feel comfortable with spending it like that because she didn't know what it could do. Like how far she could take it if she was taking it the right way. I said, yeah.
That's
it's really money mindset. It's really instilled in us because we haven't had that experience.
So true.
And so you kind of have to put your mind, take your mindset out of it, really.
That's right.
Really
they're not shopping with your budget. They're not shopping with your budget.
No. So thank you. So we have a lot of good inspiration. Is there anything that you want to tell anybody, like a new wreath maker, just to leave them with a word of wisdom, to keep going and to start, if maybe they want to start a small business or anything like that?
Absolutely. I say, number one, before you make any big life decision, whether it's starting this as a business, whether it's quitting this as a business, whether it's like, okay, am I investing? Am I all in? Is it halfway in? Is this a side hustle? What is this? Pray for wisdom and discernment. Friends, I've never, ever prayed a more powerful prayer in my entire life than when I got on my hands and knees and truthfully asked God to give me wisdom and discernment and to show me black or white. Is this what it is? Is this what you want me to do? And God, I'm going to need you to like really open some doors and really slam some doors shut, because this is all you're working with here. Sometimes I miss things. I'm a little busy. So number one, start with that. God's not hiding from you. If you lean into him, he will make his face known and he will make his will and his path known in your life 100%. I truly believe that. And then number two, invest in yourself and invest in your craft and invest in your business. It's nobody else's job to do that. Nobody else is going to do that. You are stepping into this community and you will have the biggest cheerleaders for you and your business in here. Get connected, get involved, get in some business coaching, get in some creative coaching. We are here to help. We are here to support. It is truly community over competition. And I said it before, like that's a hill I'll die on for sure.
Yeah.
I hold nothing back in creating a creative coaching. You get it all. You get all the tips and tricks and hacks and stuff. I am an open book. I am here. I know the coaches that stand beside me in my coaching class, the same thing. We are here for you. So if this is a yes, if this is a go, if this is a green light, if this is the thing, if this is your year, and I believe that this busy season is going to be something different and amazing and special. If this is the thing, invest in yourself, invest in your craft, and get in some business and some creative coaching and get connected in this community. And we are here for you. Truly, we are.
That is amazing. So I want to thank you all for joining us. Definitely go and check out Fancy with the Summer School. Where should they go to find that?
So right now you can go to colorwheel201.com to sign up for the class on Friday. And then if you are on my Facebook page, the fancy front door. I've got all my updates then. I've also got my VIP text group. You guys, I give away
I remember
coupons, free tutorials, all kinds of stuff on there. All you have to do is text the word VIP to 832-261-9705, and you guys get so much good. So much good. I just love loving on my VIPers. You get first dibs on anything that's new in the shop. You get exclusive coupons, free tutorials, lots of good stuff in there. So yeah, that is how you can find me and get plugged into all this fancy.
Yes. So thank you again. Y'all be sure to check her out. Make sure you text that number. Because again, if you haven't known her, you will. And I'm looking forward to your announcement. It will come to pass. And thank you so much for coming. You guys come back next Sunday. Tune in. We'll be here at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time with Rhonda from Rhonda's Creative Corner. She's so sweet.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yes,
Incredible.
yes.
Bring the
Yes.
chips.
So yeah, we'll get it a little bit off in her with business and see how she got going. But thank you again. You all have an amazing Memorial Day. Again, thank you to all those who served this country and may have passed and served and gave their life for this country. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your your family as well. So you guys have a good one, and thank you all for joining me. I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.